Thanks for clicking on this video or listening to this podcast. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at The Suit Up Show and hit the notification button for new videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And for more information, visit www.thesuitupshow.com.
Hello people of the Multiverse, I am one of your hosts, James, aka Quantum Cosplay.
And I'm Tim, aka UK Grayson, and welcome to Suit Up the Cosplay Show at SecretCon!
Live at SecretCon. First things first, Tim, there has been a mix-up somewhere along the line, and you, I thought we said suits, not tuxes. You, how dare you? I am furious.
I purposely said to you, I'm bringing my ivory one, well I should have said tux, but... Because I do have an
Of all the ones you could have worn, this is the James Bond Spectre. You. And now I've got, last time we've just started this up and I said, we're not bleeping out swears anymore. Yeah. I'm going to have to bleep these out because the YouTube has some algorithm thing where if you swear in like the first 30 seconds or something, it drops you down, but Tim. You look so sexy.
In my defense, it was like, oh, it's back. Let's do suits. I said, what's the one? There's only one thing up from suits.
I now look like a peasant.
You do not.
I'm joking.
You do not.
No, I know. Yes, guys.
I know.
So, that addresses this whole situation.
It does.
So we are at SecretCon 2023 live. The guys at SecretCon, we should preface this with, not everyone might know what SecretCon is.
Yes.
We've only done a couple of episodes there before.
Yeah, and SecretCon is kind of new in terms of cons. It's
absolutely.
Put on by cosplayers.
Absolutely, yeah. So, SecretCon was started by a group of cosplayers, photographers, friends, and it's specifically tailored. It's such a genuine event. Not like we're not advertising this or anything. We appreciate the fact that we've been invited. Yeah. And we genuinely love it, and we're so grateful to keep coming and doing it. But it's put on by these guys, and it's specifically tailored for photographers and cosplayers.
And not just that, because they are, photographers, cosplayers, and all part of the community. Yeah. They listen and address any feedback you might have. They're constantly evolving and getting bigger and better with the people, as opposed to a lot of mainstream cons that we've noticed that have been going downhill.
Yes,
MCM.
Jokes. So they have done, so far they've done a few events. Their first one, which majority of cosplayers will be familiar with here in the UK, was at a abandoned prison. Such a cool, unique venue.
Great venue.
And photographers and cosplayers got to collaborate and go there and just run free around this niche event space and network, and it was great. And then I think they did two there. There was one at a sort of like a manor house
like a manor house,
we weren't able to attend. And now 2023, here we are again, and they are back, and this place is insane. Obviously, the whole point of SecretCon is the secret, but being here now today with the venue being released, we can talk about it. And it is at the Magna Science Adventure Centre, which just explain what the hell that is.
So I guess it's a convention centre dedicated to each element, so fire, water, air, earth. But there's interactive sets, or I call them sets. It's an interactive museum. I'm thinking as a cosplayer, interactive sets. But it's devoted to these elements, how they're kind of viewed for us, what they bring to the earth, but which is amazing in itself. But in the cosplay sense, what you've got is a lot of fantastic environments, lighting, and scenarios for you to get great pictures, and a con which is far more interactive than say an MCM. We've got standouts.
Exactly. If they'll let you.
If they'll let you.
Yeah, so it's basically like it used to be, I think I've got this right in saying, it used to be like a big steelworks place. So it's just this ginormous factory warehouse space that has now been turned into this sort of science museum kind of thing, and it's all separated into these different areas. Like you said, there's earth and fire, and just walking in this morning, I could not believe the scale of this thing. And this is not to say that what SecretCon has done in the past has been small by any means. No. But they're obviously a newer thing, and so they have started off smaller. But I think there's 5 something like 500 to 700 people out there, I think, or something.
500 to 700
I'm not
cosplayers
100% sure on the numbers.
And photographers all having a good time. And because the event is so big, it's not overcrowded, but it's busy. It's
giant.
nice.
I cannot believe the scale. I mean, let's just come on, SecretCon. Come on, SecretCon. What are you doing?
Well done.
You naughty person.
Well, we've seen kind of them getting better each year, and this was no exception. And we look forward to seeing what they throw in future because they've really done well.
They really are. They're going to struggle. To like this is pretty fucking cool.
The thing for me is before. This hobby for me was kind of getting like I was kind of getting like a bit of old man syndrome, if you will. You're like, oh, it's not the same. Oh, I don't know. But
it's not what it used to be.
Not what it used to be. I remember in my day, but this is kind of evolving, and this, whereas the big ones like MCM are taking us in a route I don't like. Cons like this, I'm kind of like a lot of cosplayers have banded together and done this. This is a nice progression and evolving into something else entirely, which I'm fully on board for.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're here today. Again, thank you guys at SecretCon for inviting us along again, so we can do this live and sort of do what we do, but in a smaller scale. So if you haven't seen a SecretCon episode before, because now us starting this over again, I think there's a SecretCon episode missing. So one of our older episodes was the second one from the Gloucester prison. So that will be going up probably basically alongside this, like a double. Might as well throw them up together, I suppose, or at least pretty close together to each other, and do basically what we do, but on a smaller scale, just mini interviews, grab people out from out there.
And also, I feel like this has to be said, if you do a smaller interview at one of these SecretCons, if you decide, this SecretCon looks amazing, I want to do an interview, it doesn't preclude you from the long form interview.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people worry about that.
We'll have to explain that to anyone who comes on today. We'll have to be like, we still need to come on and do a whole episode.
Yeah, don't worry, it doesn't at all mean, oh no, now you're at the bottom of the list.
We want the whole, just cosplayers. We just want the whole community.
We do.
I mean, I was talking to someone about this the other day. One of the main reasons for doing this is I was kind of saying, what is the cosplay community? Everyone talks about the cosplay community, but kind of it's just a word for a thing we all do that's the same.
Yeah.
And you kind of, I kind of, one of my aspirations would for this to be kind of a real sort of bring cosplayers together and really form some sort of a community within a community that's so just sparse and just all over the place.
Much like SecretCon, this is something we've been part of the community for years, and we think we have the best look on it. Because if you look at kind of a lot of mainstream media, they bring in people to kind of have them a bit like the Victorian freak show, look at this person with the hot. Do you know what I mean? That's clear. Or how they get certain people on X Factor and stuff, rather than understanding that they're just regular people with a hobby that they like, that they're really passionate about or really creative with. So this for us was always a chance for cosplayers to be a bit more like, oh no, this is what I do, this is why I do it, and this is what I like.
Exactly.
And people are always worried about the way they approach cosplay, whether it's buy, make, adapt, and is there levels? There's no levels. If you enjoy something, if you're a nerd, you're part of the community. If you took that first step to dress up, you're part of the community.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just want to have everyone on here. As many people as we can. There's no sort of bar or level of entry. If you cosplay, we want you on the show.
Exactly.
And so there's tons of people out there today. Hopefully we can. Well, imagine if we've got no one. No, I don't want to do your shitty podcast. Look how incredible this place is.
You kidding?
I'm in science. And actually, probably speaking of cosplay, so we should clarify. Aside from you, James Bond, you bastard.
I don't mind the reference, but that is not who I was today, but I'll take it. I'll definitely take it.
We made the decision, Tim and I, to, I'm sure we'll get asked this all day while we're not, but so we made the decision to not cosplay today. We have done it at the past at SecretCons, and we really appreciate being invited along to do this, and we want to give 100% of our effort into doing the thing we've been asked here to do.
Yeah.
So,
and despite how much it hurts us, because looking around at the photographers, the people, I was like,
I'm so jealous.
So jealous.
So jealous.
So jealous.
So many cosplays that would be. I'm sure there's going to be some incredible photos that come back from this.
And I know this about cosplay as well. Once you start cosplaying, it's hard to stop. It's like turning up at a convention and you're like, I don't fancy cosplaying today, and all your friends are there cosplaying. You're like, What should I cosplay? It's not bad. It's just that you feel like something's missing.
Yeah, exactly. Made even worse by, have you seen the giant flamethrower over there? You're like, what?
quick, take my picture.
So yeah, we thought, because we've done it before, sort of cosplayed for a couple of hours in the morning and then come and done this. And we've got like sort of half made up and stuff, but it was a lot, wasn't it, to do both? And so we've been asked to come and do this. We love doing this, so hence we thought we'd literally suit up and just dress up for SecretCon. So I mean, other than that, is there anything else you want to say before we dive out there? Now we're all set up.
No. Just we're just very glad to be back, and we're even more glad that we got to showcase it here at SecretCon. It feels, I don't see, it was almost right. It feels like the community way to come back.
I mean, now I'm itching to cosplay, so badly. We've shot ourselves in the foot.
We really have.
Okay, well, check out Secret. If you're not familiar with SecretCon, check them out. I think their website's www.secretcon.
Yes. They've also got an
.co.uk.com. Not
Instagram
sure.
with more of their stuff. There is a application process, but it's not. That sounds like you'll be vetted. That's not it at all. That's because they are
manage the scale of the event.
Exactly, because they're a smaller con. It has to be based upon first come first serve. It's not like there's no creator pass or nothing like that. It
sort of works in quite a niche way as well. It just goes with the whole secret.
Exactly. But it's not like you're good.
You're not coming.
Yeah, it's nothing like that.
Absolutely. Well, other than that, I think we've said it all. So let's go and drag some people in here away from such an incredible experience out there.
Let's do the devil's work.
Yeah. Check out SecretCon. We're so glad to be back doing this.
Yeah.
Let's go and do what we do best.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Hello guys, and we are here. We are coming to you live from SecretCon 2023, and we have our first guest with us. So just introduce yourself for us.
Hi, I'm Niall. I go by Red Cosplayer on Instagram.
Niall, Red Cosplayer on Instagram. Red Cosplayer.
Cosplayer, yes.
Cosplayer. Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this, because it's always hard pinching someone for the first time. They're like, do I want to come and do this weird thing? And we just said we're not bringing you to this room to kill you or anything. Everything's all right.
And also,
that's for afterwards.
How well the interview goes.
Exactly.
And also, what we should probably know is we had to drag you away from the fantastic con that is SecretCon this year. The fantastic location.
We haven't spoken about it yet. We'll probably do a little pre-thing
100%.
before this, a pre-ramble or whatever, and then drop the interviews in afterwards. But just phenomenal out there. It's crazy. I can't believe it.
It is fantastic.
Yeah. But enough about that. More about you. So how long have you been cosplaying roughly?
So I started properly in 2017. So probably good.
That's exactly the same time we started.
Exactly the same.
I'm sure it is.
2016 maybe.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I think I looked back across our old pictures. I think that was like the first time.
Yeah. So 2017.
Yeah, and I was watching like Adam Savage with his YouTube and stuff, and he was making like a foam helmet. I'm like, I'll give that a go, whatever. And then I really like my first cosplay was Red Hood, and so I made that, and I'm like, I've made a helmet now. I might as well make the armor.
You start getting the bug.
And then 3 months later, I was at Manchester Comic-Con for the first time.
Okay, that was your first con.
My first proper one. I went years ago with some friends, dressed up a little bit, but that was like the start of my proper cosplay journey.
Yeah.
See, that's interesting to me because I kind of found out the UK had cons and told James, and we went. You'd been to one previously, so you knew that conning and cosplaying was a thing.
I went to like Telford. Probably 2012, 13. Good few years ago, but I think that's gone now.
As like a normie. Just like a member of the public, like, that's cool.
So and I went to Manchester and I did a little photo shoot with other people from the DC sort of sphere, loads of Batman and Robins and so on. I had a great time and just felt, I'm going to keep doing it.
Would you say DC's kind of like your thing, or everything and everything?
I think I do have. I like superheroes. So after I did Red Hood, I did Captain America. I'm very fond of him, and then only like of late I've decided I'm going to try and branch out and do non-superhero characters. But I like both of them. So for this one, I thought it's such a stupid costume.
Oh, but it's so cool. Like, we met last night actually in the pub, and I was just like, it's such a good idea for when you was describing the costume itself. Yeah. It's such a good idea because I love costumes you don't see that often. Yeah, so it's good because it's like a unique thing. But it's just so cool. But sorry, you were saying.
No, I just thought it's so stupid, and I just I'll just give it a go. And when I do my builds, it's like when I first start the thing. So the first thing I made was these goggles.
Right.
And if it doesn't go well with any of my cosplays, I'm like, I'm gonna sack it off. I'll put it on the.
You made them. That's awesome.
Yeah, so they're just like cool. Steampunk-esque, and then a bit of foam, and then these are just old bits of leather I have, and then that's like.
They look great. I would have said.
I would have thought. I thought that was bulk.
I was going to. Yeah, that's really cool.
So I've always made a lot of my costumes. I've rarely bought stuff or commissioned stuff.
I was just going to ask you, because people always have a bit of both or one or the other. Yeah.
So these were commissioned by my friend Emily Victoria. And I bought these fairy lights, and I initially made it, and then she redid it. Okay. She did a fantastic job.
Pop them on, please, because you've got. So cool. It's so cool. Outside, it looks awesome in the dark.
Yeah, and there's all different speeds and so on. So you know what I mean? It's just I wanted to try and make it like the film.
Well, I mean, it's one of those. It's always the tricky thing when you have a costume that is incorporated with CG elements, and you're like, how do I do something to kind of...
That's one of the best things about the cosplay community is that you end up seeing people making stuff that they've only ever CG'd in film they've made something in reality that works kind of the same way or works like enough for you to go, wow, that's brilliant.
Well, that's like that. It's like my Aquaman. I still have an Aquaman suit, and in the film it's all sectioned, and then they fill in the gaps so he can move.
Yep.
I didn't know that. So you build it, and then you're like, oh no, there's a problem here. So it's figuring out how to do it, but it's so cool. It's such a good idea, honestly. So literally the whole thing is made.
Yeah. So just I buy little bits, and then just spend an evening gluing things to
these
myself.
Are EVA.
Yeah, little EVA films, copy decks on it. So it's what I like doing. I give myself like a challenge of like, okay, I've got this convention. So at Manchester, I'll make Red Hood, 3-4 months, however long it was. Yeah. And then Captain America, because I try and do 2 cosplays a year.
Okay.
When I started out, I was only doing 1, so I had...
so much more organised than this. So already, this is what I should be doing.
And I did Captain America. He was going to be for London Comic Con. Cool. And that's like a beast in itself. So many people, and it's just... It's a good vibe, when you're on the stairs and like hundreds of people all dressed up and so on. It's just cool, and generally, I like... when you see like a little kid and they've got a Captain America shirt on and like their eyes
It's
so great.
It is an element of cosplay you just can't replicate anywhere else. It's so odd that just regular people, we don't get to sort of have that interaction in real life. No. I imagine that's how actors that portray those people when they see fans and stuff and young kids, it's like, it's so cool. Yeah.
And especially to young kids like you may sit there and we go for the enjoyment of getting the costume right and everything. But when that kid like shouts at you, "Oh, Captain America," and you are that person, you think, "Oh, that's such a great."
It is awesome. But so it was just because I'm much like yourself. I really enjoy the making side of costumes. And so was this something where you liked the character element, or just the costume itself?
I literally saw the trailer, and I'm like, that's so great. And everyone's all like, I'm going to do Bloodsport, I'm going to do Rick Flag, and I'm like, oh, you're doing the cool people. I'm like, I want to do Pokemon. And then I saw the film. I thought it was really great. It's one of my favourite DC films. And,
it's good. It's a good film.
Spoilers. And I do follow the fellow who plays them and stuff, and he's seen my stuff and shared it. It's been, that's fantastic.
That's Dave Desmouchin, isn't it? Yeah. So he's also, but that's it's a nice little bit of recognition, isn't it? When you're like, that's so cool.
You said before your first one was Red Hood.
Yep.
Because I always think when people do cosplay, their first character is often something they have to love to kind of bridge that thing. Is DC superheroes like the first thing you remember being completely kind of enamored by, like, wow, I love this lore, this
Yeah, I think I grew up on the animated series.
Okay.
So Batman, Justice League. Yeah. I've got all the DVDs at home and stuff, and it's like
one of us.
It's, I also did watch Marvel as well. I definitely, for a period, it's like, oh, I'm a DC fanboy, I'm a Marvel fanboy, but now I love all of it. You know what I mean?
Same.
It's like,
we're exactly the same.
100%. I think you do love all of it, but just certain things just push like for me, DC pushes a bit further. It's not that I don't like Marvel. It's just that there's certain things I like more about DC. I imagine that's much the same.
Yeah, I think it's like I always liked Red Hood, and if you consider him a badass, I'm like, I want to be a badass. So yeah, I made that costume, and then I'm like, okay. And then around the same time, it wasn't Captain America, it was Nomad, because Infinity War just came out.
Right.
And my thing was like, I really want to do a cosplay where I get to keep my beard.
Yeah.
Because when I
You're on toolkit, we're literally the same person. Not coming off.
When I did it, when I do a character for the first time, I very much like, it has to be screen accurate or my own version.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a wedding next week, so I don't want to shave. So it's like, that's why Polka Dot Man will have a beard this weekend. And then like I did Nomad, and then it's just every year I just think, okay, what do I want to do? And I've done 3 different Red Hoods now.
Cool.
Improving my skills and so on.
Yeah.
Captain America, I went from Nomad and I bought like a proper shield and I got a star and it basically just, evolved it.
Yeah.
And then from that, I've just thought, okay, I want a bit of a break from superhero stuff. What else can I do? So,
you do, and it helps to keep the hobby like refreshing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You get to do different things. We've been talking about maybe branching out and doing other stuff that we like, but maybe is a bit more less predominant than our superhero stuff. Because we're very much
we very much have a brand, but I think you don't kind of realise it. You gravitate to the stuff that's going to push you through doing this hobby. Yeah. If you want to do something, that will make you stay up and do it. You know, fitting it around your real life, your work, everything else. So I think that does help.
Yeah, absolutely. But you got any costumes planned for future events and things like that yet?
So next year, again, I'm doing 2.
Because you're so organised, clearly.
I'm hoping, so before the next Into the Spider-Verse or Beyond Spider-Verse, whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing Kane Spider-Man.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So that's good. That'll be a good one. And then I only heard about it this year was Fantasy Forest or...
Oh, I saw some people talking about that.
Seen that.
Again, this year, I'd not heard of it before. But
apparently it was because the weather was good on that particular one. It was really nice. But it's, I think the kind of the closest thing you could equate it to in research is probably like a Ren Fair in America.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably the closest thing you can equate it. But it looks really
that's
good.
what I imagine it to be like. Yeah. Oh, so you got something planned for that?
I want to do like my own OG sort of character and cool. Like, tap into my Celtic roots.
Oh, nice.
So maybe a bit of like just a bit of armour, some furs, and then get a sword.
Yeah, something stylised towards that sort of way.
Yeah.
I think that event is quite good if you do want to come and bring something original, because I think it's just a theme, and then you get to just, I think you can bring a character, but the theme is kind of that sort of fantasy,
it lends itself
medieval.
to anything in like.
So
in the
you
genre,
can kind of go, well, maybe I want to make something here, or maybe I've got a character in my head, so it lends itself to that, which is a good part of this hobby.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Take you away.
Thank you for being the first today.
Yeah.
Now we'll take you off and kill you. Yeah. But thank you so much. Check him out on you on Instagram, socials, and all that.
So red.cosplayer. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, and we're going to go and try and find someone else now.
Yeah. Well, next victim.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Hello guys, and we're back with another guest here live at SecretCon 2023. Thank you for joining us. Introduce yourself for everyone.
My name's Scott Webber. Cosplaying now for 5-6 years.
Oh, slow down. We haven't got
Oh, shit.
You're doing too well.
Insults the foreplay. Go straight in.
Cosplay for this year, cosplay these people. Yeah, I'm having fun. It's later.
Oh, dear.
How long this out?
I'm a very busy man.
Oh, shit.
No, thank you so much for coming and joining us today doing this. Cool. You're like the second person we've been able to drag in it, so we appreciate it.
I love it. And we've had, it's been a great location. It's been a really great day. So we appreciate you taking
You
time
don't
out.
want to pull people away from what's out there. I mean, I've never been more jealous of sitting here when other people are out and the con. Like,
it's the most what we could say interactive environment for a con.
Yeah, it's wild.
There's a real level of like ease and comfort to this con. Like, it's easy to get to, it's easy to get changed, it's all happening around you. They've really done a good job.
Parking was good.
100%.
Parking was good.
You can tell you're a cosplayer. Oh, parking was great.
Parking was so close. There was places to get changed. It was amazing.
And you're getting a bit older as well. Parking was great.
It's huge, but it's like easy to get around.
Once you've done a couple of laps,
you're fine.
And this hobby, if you've got ease in it, that's such a big plus.
Yeah.
If it's an easy thing to be able to just jump into, that's such a plus.
Bugger, I've just realised the aircon's kicked.
Yep, I'm going to have to turn that off. That's going to be the point.
We're leaving this in as well. I'm not starting and stopping. Starting and starting again. We have to remember to do that every time we come in here. It's really nice that they've got aircon in it, but that's going to ruin the mics. You just press the button, Tim, and it'll go off. That's it. It's done.
That's it. Done.
Cool.
You're over there like, Tim, it's a switch.
It's just a switch.
You've got this.
Goes on or off.
But So, talk us through your cosplay today.
So I did originally turn up to do. It's an old anime. Cosplay, like anime show called Outlaw Star.
Okay.
I had it all done. I had the gun. I walked in, and then it was really busy in the canteen bit downstairs.
Oh, no, you can upset me.
A photographer spun round. He whacked into me, and then you just hear the crunch.
Yeah.
And it sort of reminded me a bit of your trident that got snapped.
Still hurts.
And I looked down, and it's just on the floor in pieces. So I was like. I nearly had a go at the person, but it was busy.
I was just going to say, get him.
It was, but you can see someone's just so distraught with their I was like, don't worry, it's fine. I've got some glue, it's fine. I didn't have glue, but they'd walked off, so I picked up and I'm going to go home now, or go back to the hotel, and then I'm just doing, because it's sort of like a sci-fi dystopian type thing, I'm doing like a modernish version of Conan.
I was about to
say, that's sort of, I was like, that's definitely Conan.
All that needs is a brown wig, some black clothes, and the sword.
Yeah, you're sorted.
And I'm just making sure no one gets close.
Oh yeah, I was going to guard that with your life, because did you just have this as a backup? This is
just there. I'm going to go do a Sith character from Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
In the afternoon.
Bits and pieces.
Because I didn't realise I only had planned one. But apparently, I didn't realise so many people do multiple cosplays in a day.
Tim and I always talk about it. I don't know how people do it. I do not know how people do it.
Troy, good old Troy that we all know, he's now onto his third costume, and it's not even...
Calm down, Troy!
Calm down, Troy! I swear to you as well, I literally saw him as the Peacemaker. I went downstairs, walked back up, and he was Blade Runner.
Yep.
I went around the corner for what seemed like 5 minutes. I come back,
Johnny.
and now he's Johnny Blaze or whatever it is. Is it from
Johnny Storm?
Johnny Storm from Fantastic Four. So I'm like, wow, okay.
I think
we might go out there and it might be Johnny Blaze. To be
fair, I started talking to him, but then he was adjusting his dancer's belt. And he just carried on adjusting it. So I might have got a glimpse of the junk a little bit. And,
the old Johnny Storm.
Go on, Johnny.
You've been Troy.
Do you know what? That's a really cool... I'm glad we grabbed you and pulled you on here now, because that is you've made the best of a crap situation. It's happened to all of us. I've done it. It's a good way for people.
Thing is, what happened to me this morning with the gun, that was an accident.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
I don't know if you've ever told the story, but obviously when his trident got snapped by the security guard.
Good Lord.
I will find and I will kill.
That wasn't an actor. I would have been more pissed off about that. But because obviously I saw the guy was distraught, but not, he's definitely like, oh shit. I was like, no, mate, it is what it is.
And also, it's good that, especially this con, it seems to be a good community you can have in cosplay. That no one's really... there's not too many people who are nasty. Most things are...
I'm seeing a lot...
Imagine if you'd have turned around and floored him in the...
yeah.
You'll never come back to SecretCon ever again.
Inclusive. It's just, it is what it is. But, you just got to roll with it.
No, it's a good way. It's a good way of making it the best of it. And so is this 3D?
So this was... do you know Jordan Lucy? They do pagan props. So
rings a bell.
Shout out pagan props. He made this for me 4 days ago.
No way.
Yeah. So
cool.
Done a really good job. Even yesterday, the whole thing was silver, and I said, "Oh, it's got a gold handle." And he just, he was like, about 10 minutes later, obviously you've got a quick bit of spray paint, and it's a great prop. Well impressed.
That is really cool.
I actually want to dial this back a bit, because as you were saying that you got into cosplay like 5 years ago. How were you introduced to it?
So I'm a personal trainer, and my
you don't say.
A lot of people just call me Scott Webber PT.
I
think I'm guilty of that.
That was
your Instagram handle.
Yeah, I've changed it now to more of the history stuff. But so one of my clients, a guy called John, he came up to me about 6 years ago, wanted PT, and I was like, "Oh, what's your goals?" He was like, "Oh, you probably haven't ever had this, but it's cosplay. And I was like, oh shit, I've heard of cosplay. Yeah. So I started training him and purely just getting him ready for the cosplays that he would do.
Oh, that's so cool.
So if he had, I do it now with a few others. So Chester, we both know, I do his training, and it's all like the same with John. It's like, okay, this cosplay, I've got my arms out, so we'll focus a bit more on the arms.
Yeah.
This cosplay, it's like, well, I've got shorts on, so I want good legs. So it's just
what a fantastic way to tailor it. I've never thought of that. But to go, well, this is out. Okay, we'll do
well,
that.
they've explained to me, like, obviously, a lot of you got the muscle suits. He said, I don't really need to worry about the. So it can be very pinpoint onto the whole thing. So I went to one just to see what it was about, see my friend in his cosplay, and it was cool. Then I felt a little bit weird for not being in cosplay.
Right.
That kind of happens when you because a lot of people just go to cons but
you were guilt tripped into cosplay.
But a lot of people do go to cons and just attend, which is fine to do. But if you do kind of fall in love with the cosplay element and you're not there, you're like, there's more to this, and I want to jump.
Well, it was a bit like, I saw that, and I said to my friend, I was like, right, what could I do then? And he goes, you're bald, you're jacked, do Bane. I was like, okay, there you go, there it is. And
job done.
So that was the first one I did, and it's just great, like the community, like meeting you guys, everyone else. It's such a friendly. Everyone sort of knows each other, then you've got smaller sort of groups and stuff, but it's just so
we were saying
fun.
to our guests previously, it was like, it's kind of the reason we did this was just to facilitate more of that, because that's what we like about con.
That was always our con. We went and cosplayed, and then after, we hung out with everybody.
Well, it's the piss up in the evening, isn't it? It's the going out.
That's the real surprise. Wow.
Yeah. And it's just fun. My friends that, don't do it, they all, first off used to take the mickey out of me for it, because it's super nerdy.
Because if you
I'm a nerd,
exactly.
But I just explained to them, I was like, look, have you ever been to a fancy dress party?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. I was like, well, expand it over 3 days.
Yeah.
I said, and you have fun. I said, it's a bit of escapism. It is a bubble. Comic-Con's a bubble. You have it's a weird experience, but lovely experience.
It's also different. It's unlike anything else. Like, you go to this, and all right, what we do in England very well is we take the piss. That's what we do.
We do.
Absolutely.
But at con, it's like, well, actually, now put your enthusiasm on display as opposed to your sarcasm. It's a real big change.
It's a great way, if you're creative, if you love nerd culture, just being out there, it's just such a great way.
Just generally, I think it's just the best hobby.
I think so.
It's fucking expensive.
Oh yes, yes.
So by that first suit, I've seen, before I bought it, I've seen fancy dress costumes you buy, in the packets that are like 20 quid. Yeah. And then I'm talking to my friend, I was like, well, how much is a Bane costume going to cost? And he was like, oh, let me have a look.
Yeah.
So he searched it up, he goes, oh, this one's really cheap, it's 350 quid. And I'm like,
he was like,
what? No,
that's a vest.
I was like, okay. And, but then, it's with any hobby. Hobbies, if you're really into it, you put money into it,
exactly.
You love it.
We always say everyone's nerdy about something, and whatever it is, you just put everything into it.
But I look at your Mando, I look at your Aquaman, just the hours of work into it, and you can tell I'm not used to wigs. But just this hours, it's just craft.
That's what's kind of good about this as well. Depending on whether you buy, you make, or you adapt, you can just jump into this at any point, and there's no right or wrong way, or no. People are like, oh, could I do this character? Can I do that character? Of course you can. Of course you can.
You can do anything you want, and it's like, the whole community is very just accepting. It's very just having fun, And when I first went for a few cons, I saw people in, say, not so very good cosplays, and that initial but then you sort of get over it and think, no, people just enjoying themselves. People are having fun, and that's what it's about.
Every level.
It's been a good journey. It has been a good journey.
And it is. I think. You have to be a specific type of nerd anyway to want to cosplay, because it is kind of the border over. But once you're into it, it's such a nice thing to do. It really is. It is unlike anything else, and it's just that you do feel part of a little movement.
I've said it before. Like cosplayers, we are like the biggest fans, because to want to dress really
up as
go
the
out
characters.
that far of your way to get into a hobby, but it's just like you say, it just pays back in dividends, because it's just so much worth it.
People always used to say to us, because when we started this, a lot of things were happening, like Infinity War, Endgame, and we ended up going to premieres and things thanks to people we knew and stuff. They're like, when's your next premiere? You're like, no. That's not why we're doing this.
Yeah,
It's like, that was a very, very nice thing that we got to experience, but we would dress like this anyway.
Yeah.
We're just doing this. We love this so much. Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming and doing
it's
it.
great.
Obviously,
No,
we'd
it's
love
good
to have
fun.
you back
Yeah.
on.
And for like
it's good.
a proper one.
Yeah, it's good fun.
You've got a lot happening. Which, which we
So
can definitely
it's go into that. It'll be good fun, and
Absolutely,
you can dress up as like Spartans or Romans.
I'll need some training from you. I'm a bit Spartan.
There we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you want training, follow this guy.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
And let's go. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do now. We'll go and find that photographer and break his legs.
But for people at home, will you shout out where they can find you on Instagram?
Yes, so Mad About History, Scott on Instagram and
awesome
on
stuff as well.
and
Awesome
TikTok.
stuff.
So if you like your history and all stuff like that, it's a mixture of the Instagram page is a mixture of like my history and my cosplay and my business, like personal training, whereas the TikTok side is just all history.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you so much, dude.
Brilliant,
Thank
thank
you for
you.
doing this. Hey. Let's get back out there.
Did we just cross swords?
Oh, not yet.
As long as it's not streams.
Lovely. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think the only time I ever do that is when I'm saying something stupid. Yeah. Like on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm checking my beard's fucking straight. I've got this thing about my beard, right? Because it's so big, every time we do a fucking podcast, I'm like, right, get ready. And then I'll edit in the footage and my beard's like that. And I'm like, what did I do? What happened? Like,
Yeah, but I don't think that just happened. It's you probably just knock it. Like,
no, that's what it is. Yeah, but it's fucking pisses me right off because I'm like one of those like anal people about something. It's like,
You know what you should do is shave your head and do a Kratos cosplay.
yeah, now I think my wife would kill me.
Would she be more angry if you shaved the beard or the
She'd
hair?
be more angry if I shaved my beard. 100%.
Really?
Yeah. Because there's nothing going on under here. It's just.
It's like mine. Mine like creates a jawline.
Yeah.
Is why I have a beard.
Exactly. You bastard.
Sitting here beardless. I feel
So
left out.
yeah, whenever I'm in Superman, I have to like just create a jawline.
Right. Let's. Yeah, that's cool. Right. Yeah. So we'll do a count in. 5, 4, 3. Hello guys, we're back. And we're back with another guest live from SecretCon 2023. Just introduce yourself for us.
Hi, my name's James, or James in Frames on Instagram.
Excellent stuff. And thank you for coming and doing this, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a great location, and we're just glad to like pull you away from it. So we do appreciate this. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we were saying before, I think we're so jealous. Everyone out there is cosplaying. Even though we love doing this, it's like we get pulling people away from out there. There's so much to do.
Yeah.
But so how long have you been cosplaying?
So properly cosplaying maybe since 2018.
Okay.
So yeah, not very long really.
Yeah,
I think I properly got into it right before COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
And then
that's unlucky.
everything got stopped. So
Yeah, so like a couple of years of like getting into the hobby and it's like no hobby at all.
yeah.
I think we were 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, not that long. Well, now it is, isn't it?
2016.
Yeah.
2016.
Yeah. But and what sort of got you into the hobby? That's kind of the main, because obviously these are sort of like shorter, condensed versions of like of the interviews that we do and stuff. But the one thing we do always ask people is like, what sort of got you into the hobby?
I think I went to a Comic-Con one day with one of my friends, and I just saw everyone wearing costumes. I thought that's pretty cool.
That's a bit of me.
I've always wanted to do it because obviously I'm a massive pop culture fan.
Yeah.
I love Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I just found something that I wanted to start with and went from there.
Yeah.
We found that quite a lot of obviously a lot of people are fans of all this stuff, but to cosplay you are a particular certain type of that fan when you see that happening and going, well, I want to do that. What would it see at the con and people in cosplay that made you think, well, that feels like more. I feel like I want to do that bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess becoming part of the community was an exciting idea, making new friends, doing conventions together, group shoots.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I've always wanted to do like a Justice League shoot.
Okay.
Same.
Never been able to do one yet.
Yeah. We'll have to sort something out.
You know what's really messed up is that we all together, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, when Ellie was cosplaying Wonder Woman, we never did those three together. We've done those
never
three.
did the Trinity.
We've never done the Trinity.
No, we haven't actually. No. But it's one of those things, isn't it? Where because you're always evolving. Like the costumes always change. You're always like doing new things, and But so is there like a fandom that really sort of, what was like your first thing where you went to, like, you're like, that's what I'm going to cosplay? Like when you decided to take up the hobby, like that's what I'm going to go for.
I think the first proper cosplay that I really went for was actually Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's to this day, they're the only Star Wars cosplay I've done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tim and I are always itching to do a Star Wars cosplay.
Yeah, I keep thinking about it, but then just keep thinking that it's not really.
Because we often find that people, when they first cosplay, it has to be a character they really, really like or love, or a fandom they really like. Was Star Wars like your love of, okay, if I go do this, Star Wars is the thing I'm going to dress as?
Yeah, massively a Star Wars fan. And I thought Kylo Ren was the best thing about the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
so
there isn't much.
So
careful.
And also,
that's my personal opinion. Doesn't have to be.
I said the best thing. I meant the only good thing.
No, that helps. As cosplayers, we're all the same. Like you have a love for like the look of a thing, isn't it? Like the costume and thing. That's like what a lot of people tend to gravitate towards. Yeah. That look is so cool.
And it has a very unique lightsaber as well.
Yeah.
Which I actually hated at first, and then it really grew on me.
I think everyone had that. Like, that's not a lightsaber.
Yeah.
You're like, I love it.
Yeah, and it's the noise as well. That's really cool.
That was something they did do well. Is they it almost crackled. Like there was like you could feel the rage in it. Which was really good. Yeah, really good. Yeah. Anything you can say for that is that Disney have done lightsabers better in how they look.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you watched like some? I really like the lightsabers in like the prequel trilogy. So but they constantly change how they do. Obviously, technology changes, and but I think they were like that's like my favourite.
Yeah. The only thing I appreciate what they've done with it is that now lightsabers have an ambient light. They never used to. Now, like the lightsaber will light up a corridor, it will light up a character. Whereas before, they couldn't do the ambient light and the effect.
Yeah.
But now you've got that, which I'll give them that. I'll give them that. It's not easily done.
But we didn't bring you on here just to talk about lightsabers. we got carried away then. I'm like, I like the ones from the prequels.
That's generally how these go along.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we just go off and just tangents. But
I do want to talk us through
your
this
costume today.
Yeah. So obviously Soldier Boy.
Yeah,
definitely.
Huge fan of the boys.
Suit the look as well. Looks good. Looks good on you.
Yeah. Specifically grew my hair for this cosplay.
Okay.
He's my favourite character in the show. Probably Homelander's second.
Yeah, so I'd go one of the
that was very hard because they both done fantastic work, particularly Homelander's character because he was established and he plays a fantastic villain. It must have been a hard thing for them to pitch Soldier Boy and then to be like, oh, there's another strong performance. But he really did. He was a great performance.
Yeah. And Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles, he's just a win. It's always a win.
It's just so cool. Yeah. But are you like do you prefer to make your cosplays? Do you prefer to buy your cosplays? Is it a mixture of both? A little bit of this, a little bit of that? Because everyone has a different thing.
So primarily I buy my cosplays, but if there's anything I don't like, I'll change. This shield I made, my friend 3D printed the pieces. Oh, wow. And I assembled the pieces.
It's really cool. I was looking at it actually when I was putting it on the table because it's like soft on the back.
It's foam.
Oh, it's just foam on the back.
I thought it was foam because I saw the back. And I was like, oh, that's out of foam.
Printed at the front.
Right, gotcha. It looks awesome. Very, very cool.
I finished painting it this week.
Isn't that the way? I'm surprised it wasn't last night. That's usually the case.
The con crunch is real.
Yeah. But and have you got you already planning next cosplays or anything like that?
So I do have a new Man of Steel suit on the way.
Okay, nice.
From Napier's and Benable Effects.
Hold the rest of the day. This is all we're talking about. Tim, I love that costume.
We love that costume so much.
I don't know if you've seen my other one.
You had a... Did you part ways with it recently?
I sold it recently, That one was from Replica Industries.
Both great companies.
Yeah. I just thought, I've done a lot of shoots in it, time to move on and get a different... So I saw Napier's were making one, and I thought it looked phenomenal. And Benable was making his own trims.
That guy, he does like the trims, doesn't he? And
he does the trim set,
the set.
Yeah. Oh, and then if you buy them off him, and he'll ship them to Napier's. And then Napier's assembles it all for you. And
fantastic. I will say this as well for DC. Their costumes are better.
I love DC.
I think they make a better costume, like the slight details, especially especially with the Man of Steel suit, you've got the Kryptonian etching in it. It's just got so many subtle details that all come together to make something great.
Because before you had the BVS suit, wasn't it?
That was another Man of Steel suit.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like even Batfleck is the best Batman suit.
Oh,
best live action Batman suit. It's not an opinion; it's a fact.
Well, it is. It's the most comically accurate but functional looking suit
regarding the Flash. Not the Flash.
not the Flash suit.
Not
the BVS suit.
Angry.
No, we're talking about the Batman v Superman Batfleck.
I just had to put that in there.
The classic one. Yeah. That is hands down the best.
Yeah. Oh, so would you say that's like just a love of like the Superman character that you wanted to do that again? You want to get that like another suit and kind of.
Yeah, Superman is probably my favourite character out of anything ever.
Oh, really?
So, wow. Okay.
And Man of Steel is probably my favourite comic book movie.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like I have a very special connection with it. Like I empathise and feel the sort of. He has to prove himself, and I relate to a lot of the stuff in that.
It's a great reason to cosplay.
Yeah, this will be an interesting one. This doesn't help out. But was your love of Superman? Did it come from comics? Did it come from Smallville? Or was it a mixture of all that?
I think as a child, my mum was obsessed with the Christopher Reeve films.
Good choice.
I think psychologically that got me really.
Got you early on.
With the classic John Williams theme and all that sort of stuff.
I have really early memories of watching that as a kid, and it is, isn't it? It's just one of those iconic.
He is still iconic when you kind of think of Superman. You can't really get his image out of your brain. And if you have like a collective thought of who you think Superman is, and it's probably a lot of the different voices, looks, he's definitely still in there.
Be interesting to see what happens with the new one.
Very interesting. Yeah. I mean, I'm still upset because I really, really like Cavill.
Don't! The heart's been
He's a great Superman, and I think he was cheated out of it, but that's another.
Yeah, I still rage every day about it.
Yeah.
Restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah, 100%.
And how have you found SecretCon? Have you been SecretCon before? Is this your first one?
This is my second one. I've always wanted to go to the Gloucester Prison one, but it's 3.5 hours away from my house.
Oh, okay,
so it's just can't make it for one day really, and went to the one at Keele Hall last September.
That was the one I think we missed that one.
That was the only one we could
because we've done the prison twice and then but they're great venues, aren't they?
Yeah, they've done so well.
This place is just crazy.
It's brilliant what they've managed to pull together in such a short space of time.
I know, they're just bigger and bigger.
Yeah, getting bigger and bigger. And as you know, it's good to see SecretCon rising as MCM falls.
Boycott MCM.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on, just having a quick chat with us. We'll let you get back to cosplaying. We're very envious, but really appreciate it. Like I said, we'll we'd love to have you on for a full episode at some point.
Sure, I'd love to.
Same with everyone. We just that's why we started this, because we just like talking to cosplayers about everything. It's one of the fun parts of this hobby.
It's a good chance for them to be more about themselves, other than I think Instagram can be very limiting in what you can get across.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you very much. Trying to just go and the Instagram handle.
Yeah.
We're not going to go and your real name
and
address,
your postcode,
what street.
Don't, because I would give it out. Okay. So let's not.
PIN number.
I don't know it.
Oh, that's handy.
That wouldn't be Apple Pay, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah, so all we do is just do a little count in, and then it's just like a 15-minute chat. Easy peasy.
Okay, 15 minutes, fucking out.
10, 5, however long it lasts, depends on. I mean, if you're really boring. Okay, cool. So, 5, 4, 3. Hello guys, and we're back with another guest. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Introduce yourself for us.
I'm Princess Ray Solo, known as Ray on Instagram and TikTok.
Awesome.
Couldn't
Thank
say
you
Instagram
very much.
for a minute.
But social. No, thank you. Really appreciate it, because I know everyone's having so much fun out there.
And we kind of dragged you away to do this, but we appreciate you coming in and doing this.
No, I know them both. You're both very fun, so it's fun. Knit a bit of vibe.
Well, that's why we grabbed you, because we like this, like talking to people after con and being in and you bring a vibe to the con after party. No, it's a real good vibe.
To be fair,
it's a real good vibe, and we just wanted to long form this, so that's what we do.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to have you on for a proper episode as well. Because these are
I'd love it.
we keep saying to people, just because every time we ask someone, some people are like, oh, but does that mean I can't do like a real one? And we're
it's
like,
not like one or the other.
Yeah, you're done now. Don't want to see you again on this.
15 minutes from you.
Yeah.
Please leave.
Don't want any more. That's it. Yeah.
But so just talk us through your cosplay today.
So I'm doing a book cosplay. So I'm a proper book nerd as well. And when I first started cosplaying, I was very like mainstream, doing all that. This is kind of going mainstream now though. But yeah, I was like, I want to do a book cosplay, do something a bit different. So I'm doing Pharaoh from Akatar, which is Court of Thorn and Roses. It's great fantasy.
To know
I was going to say,
talking about.
So now, boys, can you tell me?
No, but go through it because it's
pop quiz. But
Pop quiz, yeah. No, it's really fun because also I think when you cosplay, if you love something so much, it really shines through.
Yeah.
100%. That's the thing that carries the hobby more. Is if you really love something, that's going to make you do it or keep going or try and get it right for a con.
Yeah. And it's fun when you do something that's a little bit different and not everyone knows because when you go to like shoot with a photographer, I love to go, can I tell you about my cosplay? And then they're like, how long have we got? Because I'm like, right, well, this book. You did say we got about 15 minutes, right?
Just
so,
one picture.
yeah, just want you to smile away. But yeah, it's a book cosplay, and lots of people will know it.
Right.
If they're like on BookTok.
Okay.
So,
Book Talk.
We love
I've just learned about BookTok as well. So.
I'm just still learning about TikTok.
We're getting old, Tim. We're getting old.
So old. But so that's, I think, also very unique to the con experiences. If you do like, say, a character that you would think is a bit more niche, if people recognise that immediately, come over and go, are you? And you're like, yes, and that kind of sparks off that you both have this like shared interest, which is what con is great for.
Yeah.
You said you were more of a book nerd. When you started, what was your thing because I think even if you are nerdy, there is something to take you more into dressing up, to actually go into con and go, you know what, I want to dress up. What was your first? And was it like a love you had of that fandom?
Well, my first, God, I tell this story all the time. It's just like, it's a bit boring now. So obviously, Ray, being the pretentious person I am, my name's Ray on every social media thing, but it's because I worked at Disney World in Florida. And this is what started my cosplaying thing because of my accent.
Sorry, one sec. Tim, turn the aircon off.
Tim, are we going to have to start all over again?
No. This will actually be...
He's loving it.
This will be the second time. This will be the second time this has happened. We keep forgetting. It comes on.
I looked at it, it was like, I'll turn it off right as we start, and then forgot.
That's all right.
So,
felt quite nice for a minute, though.
I know.
It's not always, but we can't have.
I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get in steady, and I'm just going to be.
That will annoy you. Yeah. I understand.
So you worked in
Disneyland, Florida.
I worked at Disney World, and but when you're in America. Have you ever been to America?
Yes.
Right.
I've heard of it.
But your accent, I don't know if you like this, but when I was out there, I turned more British because you're surrounded by American people all the time.
Unless you have to order something and then you have to do theirs.
Yeah, you have to do the American accent. You can't say fries.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't sound right.
Or if you say
fries.
water, huh? Water, huh? Yeah. Water, oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Soda.
Yeah.
Like, what's Coke?
We just lost any American people that watch this.
Yeah, they're like, done.
I mean, no one watches it.
American
No one watches it anyway, so it's fine.
I watch it.
Right.
Oh,
What? Yeah.
Wait,
America accent.
Yeah. So I worked at somewhere called Tatooine Traders, which was like I basically built lightsabers with kids every day.
Oh wow!
So it was really cool, and I was a big Star Wars fan as a kid. Kind of lost interest, like being a teenager,
Yeah.
And then the sequels came out. I'm a massive sequel lover. So I'm laying it down.
I thought we were friends.
Anyway, and so loads of the kids were obsessed with Rey.
Right.
Because that was like, it was just before Last Jedi came out.
That's cool to know that because you missed that as a kid. Like, you know what you had, but the younger generation, I was like, you get to see that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same as originals. I was a prequels kid, and now those kids have the sequels.
Yeah. And it's really nice to see a child that's never loved Star Wars and being obsessed. So that ignited my love for Star Wars, which then ignited my love for cosplay. But all the kids...
Which lit the spark,
first order. No, but then loads of the kids would come up and they would go, oh my gosh, you sound just like Ray. So they got me a badge that said Jakku on the bottom to say that I was from the same place. Yeah. So I used to tell all these stories to these kids like, we were born in the same place and we both used to be scavengers and stuff. So that was really fun. And then that led me to cosplay and COVID.
Yeah, we've been there.
So,
this podcast suffered greatly.
Yes, greatly. How was, you said led you to cosplay and COVID. How long had you been cosplaying before COVID kind of stepped you back?
Barely. Like barely. I was like a proper newbie.
Just started cosplaying.
Yeah.
Right.
But it wasn't like properly. Like I had done I literally made a costume out of curtains and went to a con and I was like, this is it. And
that's
then
awesome.
COVID happened.
That's cosplay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's a fantastic way. But there was something that you've obviously found in the con and the cosplay that you thought, even after, I'm going to go back to this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And TikTok, which I know you don't know about. So TikTok, right?
Tell me about this TikTok thing.
But like TikTok, because obviously you were cosplaying a long time before. People were going on TikTok and doing all that.
We are.
We're all.
Do you want to say it? But like TikTok was such a big thing for like newer cosplayers coming in.
Well, that was Instagram for us because we started cosplaying. We were like, you have to. You have to have an Instagram.
We didn't have an Instagram for ages. We just turned up and yeah,
exactly. Just enjoyed yourself.
Yeah.
It does add a bit of pressure on as well, though. But
seems like it does.
TikTok was an easy way of getting in and finding loads of people who like the same thing as you.
Yeah.
And then from that, then it was like,
Well, that's explained like that. I could really get behind something where you said, "Oh, you find loads of people like you," because that in itself is, I think, why a lot of people go to con, because there are a lot of people, even if it's not the same fandom, they're enthusiastic about something.
Yeah.
And I will say, in defence, your TikTok of you taking costumes at the con after party is hilarious. I actually loved that video. Like I would love. That could be like a series on its own. As each time there's an after party, you go around and take
a niche. There's a niche.
Right? There is, right?
It was
I've done that before.
It was so funny and so like on brand for you and natural. I was like, that's so good. It was so good. Yeah, I'll happily watch that.
Oh, you're going to be part of that next time.
I was part of it like before.
Was you?
Yeah,
what did I take off you?
You took my pink cowboy hat.
Oh my gosh, your pink cowboy hat. Yeah. Do you know what?
Are you going to be part of that? Is that how much you had to drink?
I want to get involved in this.
I was sober. Completely sober on that video. But it was fun though. And
it was
do you know what?
fun.
What was really funny about that was going around, because everyone sits in groups, right?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like we're kind of people who just go around. You talk to everyone. You kind of got to. And it's also fun to like, be friends with lots of like other different people. And so, but the best thing was I was only take one thing from lots of different groups. And eventually people were like, what are you, where is that? I had a credit card as well. I got given a credit card.
You didn't get given a credit card, you just took it out of someone's hand.
This is slowly just becoming theft. This is like, you probably wanted.
I gave most of it back.
One thing I do want to ask before we like wrap up is about your outfit, because it's really, I think it's cool and unique having a cosplay from a book, because, is there a visual representation in the book of the character you're cosplaying? Or is it, so you're just going from descriptive, so you kind of, you're putting things together. I think that's a really cool way of doing something, because everyone, when you read, we all know, you create images in your head of like the characters, who they are, and that's where you get such like, what's it called? Sort of like a pushback. If someone, they're like, that's not how I envision that character, or this and that.
Yeah.
And so, that must have been quite fun, like putting together an outfit and not actually having a visual representation. So you're creating it a little bit more yourself as well.
This was lastminute.com as well.
Like the ink on your arms, is that all kind of part of, is that like descriptive in the book? And
yeah, in the second book. Here we go.
All right.
So in the second book,
I shouldn't have asked.
But it's all it's to do with like night court and stuff that happens in like the end of the first book, start of the second book.
Right.
But only like proper nerds would like know it. Okay. But again, like I was out there actually on Pinterest trying to find the tattoo, because there isn't a tattoo out there.
Because it doesn't exist.
Because it's just written, it's literally like black ink with an eye, like what, you know. Yeah. So, but it's fun because like you said, you can kind of piece it together and be creative. Yeah. And also, you can't be wrong. I feel like sometimes...
Yeah, because it's your interpretation.
Yeah, and sometimes like when you do things that's so mainstream, like we love Marvel, right?
Yeah.
We love Star Wars, all that. Yeah. But sometimes I feel like people get even more... I get a lot of like trolling online. Yeah. But I feel like if I do a mainstream character as well, I get even more, because it's so much easier.
What you mean, because
to pick
people
out.
are quicker to, because it's about something that
everyone it doesn't stop me, but
no, of course, and it shouldn't.
It's still annoying.
And that is a shame though, because this is a fun hobby. That's a horrible side of it. And especially people think that they have the right to.
We've spoken about maybe doing an episode on the whole kind of that whole thing with it, but we was like, we want to keep this positive for as long as we can before we start talking about the negatives of.
And on that note,
but it's but it is still a good one. It's still a good hobby, even in spite of that. And really,
absolutely. It's very rare. Like when I say that, it's not like it's the videos that
it's the odd
or the Instagram that end up going. It's like the crazy big ones that are the worst ones. It's not really,
And it's also something to be said of. I know some people go to con now and they just visualize or do their own character or their own thing.
Yeah,
and
like
that's amazing. But that's kind of nice that you can go, well, this is completely mine, but it's based on
And like you say, you can't be wrong with it, which is cool.
That's it, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming and having a quick chat with us because, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
We'd love to have you on for like a proper episode.
Oh, I'd love it.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
Before you go, do you want to shout out any other things aside from your TikTok and Instagram?
No.
No, that's fine.
I don't have anything else. TikTok and Instagram. At Princess Ray Solo. That's it.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thanks.
Hey guys, and we are back again and very grateful to have another person with us. Thank you so much for coming in. Just introduce yourself for us.
Hi, I'm Helen, also known as Valkyrie Creative, also known as Crazy Cat Lady. So, hello. Thanks for having me.
This costume is incredible.
Thanks.
I love it so much. Honestly, it's such a good. But is it you made it yourself?
Yeah. So this the armor pieces are like leather.
Right.
And it's like I hand tooled it because why not? Like an idiot. And then the skirts, I finished like a couple of months ago, finally, about a year after I started the rest of the costume, because I don't like sewing.
Yeah, I hate sewing.
It's just the worst.
I wish I could do it.
Yeah.
I wish so much that I could sew because it's everything. I'm just like, I'll fold that and glue it.
It's just it's so finicky, and like 90% of sewing is actually ironing, which I hate.
Oh yeah.
So but I took a community college course in sewing. It was like a night class for like I think 10 weeks or 10 nights for 70 quid.
Yeah.
So I definitely recommend that. Like there'll be like some lovely ladies that'll help things out, and they're great.
Anybody who can like do it well, it does add something to their cosplay.
Yeah.
Like you've sewed that, and it looks like it's so secure.
Yeah.
I mean, don't check my seams, but it'll hold. That's the main thing.
That's 100%. If it survives the con, successful.
It'll survive a few hours.
Yeah. Which, as we were just saying, is long enough for us now.
Yeah, exactly.
Get into it, get changed, go
Anything longer, you're done anyway. So
it's leather.
Yeah, so this is all leather. It's like I made a pattern and then just glued it together, pretty much the same way you would do with foam.
Yeah.
But the leather means it's like slightly more sturdy, if anything.
Yeah.
So, and then, sewing, and then 3D printed this mofo.
That is. That looks so cool.
I did not model this, full disclosure, I did not model this, but I did break it myself. So. That was fun.
How did you get that? Because I'm known with a Captain America mask, it has to like flap open. Does yours have enough give in it so you can put it on and off?
Let's look at the nasty bits. Okay, so at the back, you can see here that it's a little bit warped and wobbly and kind of gross. And that's because I heated it so that it would go over my head.
Oh, so give it a little bit.
Okay.
But nobody looks at the back anyway. So
no, but I noticed it because it like slips onto your head.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
there are like other versions that have like a second piece that goes at the back. And I was like, I don't really want to be faffing around with that. Like at a con, ain't nobody got time for that. So... you want to be able to put it on and take it off without, that.
You look incredible in it.
It looks amazing.
It's so cool.
I feel...
So I'm obviously bumping into you before. How long have you been conning and cosplaying?
Too long.
I think 2014 was the first time I went to a con, like officially as a cosplayer.
Oh, cool.
Me and my friends, we were all working in the games industry, and we made friends through our mutual love of Mass Effect. And cats.
Mass Effect is amazing.
It's the best game. Mass Effect 2 is the best game, hands down.
And cats are equally as well.
I mean, cats are life. So we decided to go to our first Comic-Con as like the Mass Effect troupe. So I was Femme Shep, my friend was Miranda, and then we had Jack as well. And like my friend, she shaved her head and like committed fully to it. And it was just
that's fantastic.
And even though like our costumes were like, not great, maybe like not the best. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, look, it's FemShep, it's Mass Effect," and, like losing their minds. And it was just like, you feel so special, don't you? You just feel so cool.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. Because that's why we love to talk. This is just a reason to do this podcast, and just chat with people. But so because everyone's first experience is different, and your first like cosplay experience was mainly in a group.
Yeah,
like a group of you.
That's so good. I feel because a lot of people have to either convince someone or find friends during it. But if you go to a group, I feel like it's such a nice way to kind of be submerged into it.
Yeah, it was just kind of like we kind of pushed each other into it, and like we were all the types that would go like overboard at Halloween anyway. So it was like just a step above that.
Yeah, that is 100% a personality trait of cosplayers. If you really love a Halloween party or want to really, then you'll love cosplay.
Yeah, you're that person that goes that bit too far at the fancy dress party.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Spends a whole evening drinking milk because you're Catwoman. So,
in character.
That's impressive.
That's fantastic.
I may have like turned it into White Russian, but it looked like that.
I still think that counts. That still
counts. But it kind of makes it heartbreaking though when your friends kind of, some of them like they grow out of the hobby. Yeah. And they're like into real life and they move on and you're like, I still fucking love this.
Yeah, I know. We've kind of seen that as we've like started cosplaying, and then once you've done it for a long period of time, you see people fall off, and that's fine. Of course, everyone has stuff, but it's kind of like you're like, oh, I'm still doing this.
Yeah, it's like, am I lame? And then you remember like when you first started doing this, it was lame. You were the geek, so it's like still doing it. Who cares? Yeah. Are you having fun?
Well, and it's one of those things. Is for us, we kind of hid our nerd side to fit in, and finding cosplay and conning was like, oh, there's a place where everyone's enthusiastic about this stuff. You don't like, it's not like you have to find it. Everyone's here doing it. So I'm surprised that people let it go that way. If that makes sense. I can understand people get too busy, but I don't think you ever stop loving your fandoms or your likes.
No, 100%.
And like you said, it was the gaming that really got you into it, that made it the thing that pushed you over. But was that always your big love for it? You knew immediately, oh, I'm going to do gaming. That's how I'm
No, not at all. Like I loved FemShep so much I wanted to be her. Yeah. But I think Catwoman, like at Halloween parties, was probably the first one where I was like, this is fun being somebody else. And just being able to put on a costume and just, you don't have to be your normal mundane self. You can just be an idiot and just prance around with your friends and just, especially when you get to be a villain, like, I think I dressed up as Hela one year. I went to WonderCon in America, and that was amazing. Love that con. But this little girl comes up to me, and she's like, "You're my favorite character," and I'm like, "Wow, questionable parenting, but that's cute."
That's a cool little girl.
Love that. Yeah, it's adorable.
Is it something as well? Because so you made this. Is the creation side of things a part of the hobby that you really enjoy? Do you know what I mean? Because some people buy, some people make, some people do both. Is that kind of a big part of it for you?
Yeah, I think it's like, well, it's kind of like 50-50. It's on one hand, it's like, I really do like being a craft goblin, but we all know
that needs to go on a t-shirt.
That's a great image.
But none of us very few of us actually look glamorous when we're making the things. We're like, no makeup, in your pajamas.
Yeah, cuts, bruises, covered in hot glue.
Yeah, exactly. Hot glue burns. Oh my God, the amount of scars that I've got. But it's not a very glamorous side, but I really like that, going away and making something that's, on screen. And then you're like, this actually looks half decent. Like it works.
I would say more so than half.
Cool.
It looks amazing. So is that more what you like about it? Is it the getting the exactly right to your great standards, or do you have to love the character for you to really be like, oh, I've got a life to live, but I really want to make this because I love this character?
It's kind of 50-50. I'd say.
Yeah, it's always like ends to it.
I like, sometimes I'll make a costume because I really want to make it and it's got some cool crafting techniques. Yeah. But then there's sometimes it's just a character that I really want to just be, and I will happily buy the costume just so I can prance around. Like Nadia from What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. Okay. I bought the dress for that because I'm not sewing that monstrosity. I don't have enough patience. But it's like I want to be that character, and that kind of wins over, me wanting to actually make the thing. Like for that character. Yeah, it's
and
about
then there's levels, isn't there? You're I know what I can do, I know what I can't, I know what I'm learning to do. So
this is it, and also like how much patience and how much time you have. But then there's also characters like Cara Dune from The Mandalorian, where I love the costume, love the character, And then the actress behind it turned out to be like a whole trash fire of a human being. So I was like, I never want to wear this again because I don't want people thinking that I'm like, on board with what she's saying here.
Right,
so
okay.
ended up selling that costume even though I put
that's
a lot of effort
I think
into it.
obviously before everything was revealed about that, I think I saw you in the car doing, or I saw a few pictures and I was like, you've smashed that. And I'm not like... Just as purely from a cosplay point of view, I was like, that's a really, really great car.
Because I got to shoot with Carlos and Ugo and my tiny little Yoda thing that I made. And that was kind of, I've already got the good pictures. I've already had the good experience.
You're like,
so it's
I can let go now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've got a Mandalorian and I was like, that would have been a great picture.
That would have been so cool. Yeah.
Oh no! But thank you so much for just coming on and having a quick chat with us.
Thanks
because
for having
we'd love to have you on for like a proper,
an actual proper full depth.
But we go like deep dive and stuff.
Yeah, but love to do this again. So
excellent.
Whenever.
But yeah, really appreciate you coming in and having a chat with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you.
All set, yeah?
All set. Lovely. Aircon's on. Good. Kept filming and then the aircon kept coming. It's like,
I've done it twice.
Twice it happened. You'll see it if you see it in the episode. Yeah. Because we just have to leave it in because we weren't going to start again. No. Okay, so 5, 4, 3. Hello, guys, and we're back. Thankfully, we've got more guests on. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much. We took you away from the great venue that is SecretCon, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, so thank you for coming in and just taking some time to chat with us. But I just want to introduce yourselves.
I'm Lana.
And I'm Tony, and we're cosplaying Tron today.
Oh, that wasn't even planned.
that was both together. That was perfect.
That was amazing. And wait, did you? Yeah, hang on a minute.
Wait, where for it?
Oh, it's so good.
This is the old one. I made it 2 days ago, so
I need these in my life.
They're so good. They're so good.
Did that do both suits? Or did you both just time that really well when you just turned them on?
No, they both controlled by a single remote.
Yeah, we each of us have a remote in our pockets, so anyone can turn in. Oh, no.
But did someone just do both of those, or did you both individually do that?
No. It's like
one button.
So cool. So good.
Because I was like, how did you time that?
Yeah, there's so much that can go.
Yeah. But I just dive straight into it because we talk about it. Just talk us through your costumes.
This has been my dream for years. This disc I made 5 years ago for a corporate party. Really? It was neon themed party, and I was like, Tron. What could be better for neon than Tron? Yeah. So I made this. I made a first version of this. It was crap. Let's be honest. But I waited for technology to advance, and nowadays I can produce this. So I'm much more pleased. This is the first version. This is actually our first phone build. Right. So,
wow,
that's incredible.
And you obviously integrated the technology into the phone build. Yeah. That's quite a thing to be like your first phone build, and I'm doing that.
Yeah. Well, you see,
it's got LEDs.
Yeah, everything LEDs is like Bluetooth. Everything is better with LEDs.
And
Bluetooth.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah, it is. But so big fan of Tron.
Yeah. You're like, understatement.
So look at me.
Not as big as you of DC, but
So you obviously spoke about it being a corporate party that you did that for. Was that kind of your first kind of experience with cosplay, or did you find out that conning and cosplay was a thing?
Tell when we built our first costumes.
Okay, yeah. He seduced me with a lightsaber.
That's such a unique, brilliant thing to do.
I'm so jealous.
That's so good.
So this family is all about Star Wars. We started as a couple around Star Wars, and then for our first anniversary, I just made the tunics just to have some fun, just to have it.
Yeah.
Then we started upgrading it. We were putting it on the 7th episode premiere, I believe.
Yeah, the 7th
episode.
The 7th
episode premiere, yeah. Okay. And it was evolving, and then here we found out that Cosplay is a thing.
Well, no. Before
You've always been
yeah.
cosplaying as a couple.
We didn't cosplay. She starts. She's like a baby cosplayer of 1 year old. I did live action role playing games before. So you go into the woods, you dress silly, you fight with wooden swords. Well, yes, you drink a lot.
You do that at cons too.
That's
why I like them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it wasn't that much of a jump then, because if you were doing that, then this must have just been like, I can
the same
the same thing. Yeah,
with civilization. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So you said like Star Wars was your thing that kind of brought you together and pushed you into like, we have to dress up for this. So was that when you did go to a con, was that where you're like, we have to do Star Wars for it?
Yes, the first con was MCM 2021.
Okay.
It was the first, I think, con after the pandemic. And yeah, we dressed as Jedi with masks. We were so conscious, like, after the whole pandemic thing. And we stood inside for the whole day. We didn't know outside of MCM. MCM was a thing.
Yeah.
And then we call a taxi, we go out. Oh, this is a whole
like that's probably the bit where the cosplayers go, is the outside of it.
Yeah.
And it was only one day, and we're like, who are those stupid people who go to the cons 2 days in a row? Like, go to Manchester, to Birmingham. Why would you do that?
And now look at yourself.
Yeah, it gets you.
Yeah. But it's so cool because the costumes have obviously, when we're all cosplayers, especially when we're building, you improve, you get better, you learn different techniques. But this has already gone through like improvements just from this to this. Like, that's so cool to see. How much of a learning curve was it for you putting the lights into the suit? Because it's quite difficult to disperse light neatly. That's what I found when I had like Batman LED lights without seeing the LEDs themselves. So
that was the most challenging part, and that's what I wanted to make. Like I wanted to make a light that is bright enough to see in daylight, because how usually it's made with electroluminescent panels, and it's like in darkness they are right, they're thin and they glow. In daylight, you cannot see this. And this is like basically 10% of the brightness.
Oh, really? Oh my God! It just keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better.
That's amazing! So you're walking around like that.
I'm so glad that I'm so glad that we didn't see that until then, because that's a genuine thing that happens. That was so good.
That's the nerdiest thing we've ever done. Just lights. We're like,
yeah. So I can go nowadays. I can go outside of MCM and still shine. And
that was the problem I had with my Batman eyes. I went outside. There was no point having them, and that is so cool. Really cool.
First I had this problem with my Iron Man eyes. Like,
your Iron Man is amazing.
How usually they do it, like the so-called cosplay eyes with one LEDs at the side, and outside you cannot see that it's glowing. So I had to upgrade mine. So if you need a tip,
we'll have to have a chat.
Definitely happening. Yeah,
I can't believe how bright that just went, because we've got studio lights on us at the moment as well,
and ambient lights from
the ambient lights from so it is bright in here. And then I can't wait to it.
That almost made me want to turn.
It'll be worse if when I look at it, it's just like a little, and we're like,
You'll have to edit it even brighter.
Yeah, I'll just make it like it goes blinding.
Yeah, almost like a defibrillator from Men in Black. It blinds everyone.
But and then these are 3D printed.
3D.
They seem extremely sturdy. Yeah.
Well, now I'm also very fascinated as well, because this is what you clearly do. What is, and I usually don't ask this because it's about the cosplay, but what is your profession that you can do this so well, or that
it's not professional. I had this draft of a joke for one of the future posts, but I'll tell it now. So I didn't like electronics when I was in uni. I didn't like cable management when I had to do it in data centers, and I don't like tight spaces because of my size, obviously. Yeah. So now I'm doing cable management in tight spaces and electronics, but namely this cable management in here, cable management in there, and lightsabers.
So you just have a knowledge of like electronics.
Not professionally. I had to learn it.
No, that's
myself,
even more
yeah.
impressive.
That's even
because
more impressive.
What we all do as cosplayers. I didn't used to know about foam or resin or any of this stuff. You know, you have to learn it as you go along.
And what is amazing about this is you meet so many people, and how they've approached a certain way to do a cosplay is you go, wow, I would never have thought about it that way. And you go, wow, this person has done this from that angle and just learned it, which is always fantastic.
But it's so, and they look so cool in the dark. We first bumped into you at SecretCon today, and we saw you guys. It's like very mood lit round some parts of this, and it looked so good.
It looked so good. You're gonna get some great photos back from this one.
I hope so.
Good.
Yeah. Have you had a good time at SecretCon today?
Absolutely. And
I can't remember. Have we seen you at SecretCon before?
No, it's our first one.
It's your first one? Yeah. Oh, what a first one to come to.
What a first one to come to.
Honestly, such a good.
It's only getting better.
The one at the prison, they did one at the prison before, and then there was one at the manor, and then this one. It's just it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
We missed the manor, and I'm still sad that we did.
As we were just too busy. It was a real shame because we love coming to this one, to SecretCon. But are you going to MCM this year as well?
Which one? London for sure. Birmingham maybe.
Okay. So for you, is conning more the chance to show off what you've built or all the work you've put into it, or is it more like the catch up after, the drinks after, or is it both?
It's definitely both. Social aspect is very, very important. Showing off.
You just showed off here because we were like,
I still have one trick for you. We'll keep it. I'll keep it till
the out of your head.
It could be a great way.
Good way to go. Oh no! Well, thank you so much for coming on and having a quick chat with us. I mean, it'd be great to get you guys on for like a full episode.
Yeah, because this doesn't preclude you from coming on like the long form one. This was just what we. Kind of gracious enough to let us.
But we loved your outfits. And we couldn't pass up the opportunity.
Thank you for having us.
No worries.
I could talk all day.
So good way.
So, do.
Oh, so good. I love it so much.
So good.
I was going to ask what those. Obviously, I knew they were magnets, but I'm thinking, why is it not magnets?
Of course! I knew from Tron, I was like, there's no way that lights up and doesn't hit the back, but I wasn't going to say anything just in case. There's no way it doesn't.
That is amazing.
So good.
Honestly,
so good.
So
Does that?
cool.
Are you going to tell me that charges that?
No, it's
not yet.
Not yet, because I literally have it the first thing for upgrade.
I knew that was coming.
There's always upgrades to be made. But thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much
for having a chat with us. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
Thanks for clicking on this video or listening to this podcast. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at The Suit Up Show and hit the notification button for new videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And for more information, visit www.thesuitupshow.com.